What up? It's Uriah, your friendly host here on the Hub of Fantasy Football. And today is a little bit different than normal. No Foley, no Evan. It's just me solo. And I'll be rambling on for a few minutes and just talking about a bunch of fantasy stuff that nobody in my league will ever listen to me and will probably be up in arms after I post this. So, here goes nothing. All right, today's sponsor is from the none other than Mr. T. Mr. T has now started a new plumbing company. Mr. T vows to provide a quality job at a reasonable price. And remember, I pity the stool. So, moving on. This week on the first ever episode by myself with spicy meatballs for week 10. Now, this week, a little crazy. The New Orleans Saints fired their head coach. Will it matter? And the answer is no, it won't matter. They're still a dumpster fire. They suck. There's no telling who they tried to trade away. Their former first round pick, Chris Olave, looks to be a bust. That's just my opinion. Derek Carr is a placeholder for a future quarterback that they will like. Kamara is aging. The defense is aging. I mean, man, it's rebuild time. You better sell it off and sell it now, Miss Benson. Get it out. Just do away with it. Start over. Give a new head coach the full control and just let him get who he wants. And may I say, Bill Belichick in New Orleans? Huh? That has a kind of a good ring to it. All right, moving on. Next one. Foley is not gonna like this. Amon-Ra St. Brown will never, ever, ever have a year like last year. Now, hear me out. I know Foley's listening to this. His hands are in the air. He's shaking his head. But hear me out, Foley. Jameis Williams has cut in to the catches this year. He has a longer contract. Montgomery got an extension. Gibbs has a contract. Laporta is out there. It looks like to me Amon-Ra might be left on the outs. Now, will he still be good? Yes. Will he be great? No, I don't think so. I think he is just a good wide receiver on a good team with a lot of pieces. He's probably going to be looking for a way out, personally. This one goes out to my boy named Matt. Is Jaden Reed just as good as Justin Jefferson? Now, all of us are like, what? Now, I mean, I couldn't believe this when I looked at it. Okay, so JJ has 9 more targets than Jaden Reed, but Jaden Reed has 1 more catch than JJ. Now that's a little. You're like, whatever. That's just a catch, no big deal. But in all the other statistical categories, now granted they do differ, but if you kind of just look at them, they're about the same. I mean, Reed leads some. I think he leads more on yards after catch. If Foley was here, he could correct me on my stats, but he's not. So they're pretty much the same so far. So does JJ and Jaden Reed end up the same at the end of the year? Question mark. Now, I believe wholeheartedly that Justin Jefferson is better than Jaden Reed, but numbers don't lie. Let me hear it when you get them. All right, so moving on to our first game. Now, our first game is tonight as I'm recording this, and I'm going to try and get it out there. The Bengals, who are 4-5, versus the Ravens, who are 6-3. Now, guys, this is the Thursday night game. I just want to get that out there in the open, so everybody knows it, and everybody knows Thursday night games kind of suck. This game has the potential to be a great game. Will it? I don't know. Let's move on to the fantasy side of it. The Bengals, you're starting everybody, including Sticky Gesicki, the tight end. If you got them, start them. The Ravens, man, I can't say enough about the Ravens. I think they're a Super Bowl team. I feel like everybody on that team is good except the tight ends, and it's just because inconsistent. The tight ends were really good those first 2 or 3 weeks, and it was like those 2 or 3 weeks that Zay Flowers had to have those 2 or 3 weeks to get going. So, me personally, you're starting Lamar, you're starting King Henry, and you're starting Zay Flowers, and that's it. Moving on, second game, and I'm just going to say red alert. Red alert. This game is in Germany, and it's two really sad teams. It's the New York Giants, who are 2-7, versus the Panthers, who are 2-7. I'm just going to call this, guys. Stay asleep. Don't worry about this game. Don't start nobody. Although I know you're starting Chuba, and you're probably going to start Neighbors, but just keep it controlled. Just keep it. It's not going to be good. That's all I can say. Will those two be good? Probably decent. I'm not expecting a whole lot from this game. Moving on, the Patriots, who are 2-7, versus the Browns, who are 4-4. And for a side note, the Bears are 4-0 at home, which is where this is being played. So right off the bat, I'll start with the Bears. I'm going to say the Bears win this one. Fantasy-wise, you're starting Caleb, Singletary. I mean, not Singletary, Swift. I can't remember. You're starting running back. Wide receiver. Ugh. Man, I look, I really don't know on this one. DJ Moore, he got the huge contract, and I may be wrong on this, but I think he quit a series last week. If that's I don't know. I don't know if I can trust DJ Moore if that was true, but if you got him, you're probably starting him, and you're not really worried about it. On the Patriots side of the ball, on the Bears, Cole Kmet, give him a start. The Patriots, man, the only person I feel comfortable is Ramondre, and I don't feel good about that. So I think that's the only person you can start on the Patriots. The next game, personally, this would probably be my favorite game besides tonight. The Bills, who are 7-2, versus the Colts, who are 4-5. The Bills, you are starting everybody. And when I say everybody, I mean Dawson Knox, Dalton Kincaid, Shakir, everybody. When you move over to the other side of the ball, man, look, I know you got problems over there, man. Maybe the only person I can possibly think to start on this game, maybe Jonathan Taylor. Other than that, I would not start anybody. Moving on, Broncos, who are 5-4, surprise, versus the Chiefs, who are 8-0. Now, look, back in the day, this used to be a great game. I mean, I remember watching this. Terrell Davis, Ed McCaffrey, Neil Smith. I mean, this was a great rivalry. And now, man, it's Bo Nick's show, and I don't know how I feel about that. Do I want them to do good? Yeah, kind of. I want them to beat the Chiefs. I hate the Chiefs, but whatever. Sorry, I just yawned. The Broncos, I don't feel comfortable with Knicks. I don't feel comfortable with their wide receivers, even though they're getting it done. Um, I, the only one with a wink, with the eye, I'm wincing. I'm not looking at it. Maybe Javonte Williams, maybe, but I don't like it. On the Chiefs side, it's how they're winning is kind of crazy. But you're starting Patrick Mahomes. You're starting Kareem Hunt. Um, you're starting the zombie. I hope y'all all know who the zombie is. Um, other than that, you probably got Kelsey and you're probably starting him. I don't recommend Kelsey this week, but that's just me. Moving on. Now, normally I would say this would be a juicy matchup, but not this week, not this year. It's the Falcons who are 6-3, and they're also 3-0 away, playing at the Saints who are 2-7, and they are gross. Falcons, you're starting everybody. I mean everybody, even Ray Ray. That's right, Foley. I said start Ray Ray. Moving on to the Saints. Nope. I don't want no part of that. Nope. Mm-mm. Maybe Kamara, but I don't feel good about it. No. Don't do the Saints. Next, now this week's bonanza will be the 49ers, who are 4-4, versus the Buccaneers, who are 4-5. And I hope this is points galore. 49ers. Purdy. Debo. Jennings. And look, it's going to be a game time. Figure out right now if you got CMC or if you got the other guy, Mason. You got to figure that out. I don't feel good because I don't know who it is. Buccaneers. Now, how Laser Baker Mayfield is doing what he's doing. Now, I know they've lost the last couple of games, but that was a good game against the Chiefs. Baker has been having great games. Bucky, good. Cade Otton, good. Who's the wide receiver? I don't know. So, go in there, tread lightly on that one. Just keep an eye out. Next game, Steelers 6-2. That's right, the Steelers are 6-2. I can't believe that. The Commanders are 7-2, and the side note, they are 4-0 at home, and this is at home for them. Look, I tried to trade around Russ this week. Nobody had him. I will hold on to him until I die. He is going to be great going forward. I'm just telling y'all. I'm telling you right now, he's going to be great. So, moving ahead, we got you starting Russ. You are starting Pickens. You are starting Najee. Commanders, if you have him, I know you're starting Jaden. I'm going to say temper your expectations. I don't see him having a great game this week. That's me personally. You're starting whoever the running back is. You're starting Scary Terry. I think Zach Ertz will have a great game. I'm going out on a limb on that one. So just watch out for that one. The next game, Vikings 6-2 versus the Jaguars, who are 2-7. I don't believe T-Law is playing. Keep that in mind. The running back room's a mess. The wide receiver room's a mess. Look, if I'm starting, especially with T-Law, if T-Law's out, I'm not starting anybody. But if you have to start somebody, Evan? Tell me who the tight end is. Thank you. All right, moving on to the Vikings side, you are starting everyone. The Vikings defense, guys, is elite. You start Darnold, you start Jefferson, you start Aaron Jones, you start Addison, and you start Mr. Hockenson. Look, start them all. All right, next game, Titans, who are 2-6, versus the Chargers, who are, surprise, 5-3. Now, look, guys, no, especially Foley has been really down on Herbert. Herbert's not that bad. I mean, the record kind of shows it. I mean, if you were listening to Foley rant on about how bad Justin Herbert was, you would not think that the Chargers are 5-3, but they are. So that's kind of a win for me and Evan on that front. I'll just say that. Titans, don't start anybody. I think they're talking about screwing up with Tony Pollard's reps or something. So, no, don't do it. Chargers, Herbert, maybe. Definitely in a super flex, but if not super flex, don't start him. JK, start him. Keep an eye out for Ladd, Makalakade, however you say his name. Might be a flex this week. All right, the next game, it could get out of hand, and it could get real bad. I'm talking Cowboys and Lions bad, but this time it would be the Eagles and Cowboys bad. If you got the Cowboys, bless your heart. If you're a Cowboys fan, I'm sorry. I mean, look, if I was a Cowboys fan, I would tell Jerry Jones to shut up. And that's it. Just shut up. Don't say anything, shut up. But saying that, the Cowboys, maybe Rico. I don't like it. Maybe. The only person you probably could start is CD. But how is he going to get the ball? I don't know. It's scary. So I'm going to say just CD. Eagles, start them all. Get them in there. Let's go. Just start them. You'll thank me later. Next game. Probably don't want to watch this game. This game I would call the trash game of the week. It would be the Jets 3-6 versus the Cardinals 5-4. Jets, come on. Who you starting? Not the quarterback. Don't do it. Running back, Breece Hall, get him in there. Garrett Wilson, great play this week. Other than that, man, I don't even want to say. Devontae is a flex. Man, who would have thought I would say that? I don't like it. Cardinals. Look, guys, I know you're going to start Murray. Don't do it. I know you're going to do it, but don't do it. Harrison Jr., I would start him. And Connor, I would start him. As far as the tight end, look, he's been playing good. I can't really say anything, so start him. The only person I would say is Kyler. Just temper your expectations. I'm not expecting a whole lot. Next game should be a doozy. Lions 7-1, and they are 4-0 away. The next team is the Texans, who are 6-3, and they are 4-0 at home, which is where this will be played. So you got unbeaten away, you have unbeaten at home versus each other. Who's going to win? Man, I don't know. I would say Lions for betting, but I'd probably take the Texans and the points because, I mean, they're at home and they're still good. Anyway, I don't even know why I said all that. Lions, start them all. Get them in there, start them all. Texans, start them all. Even the tight end, I don't even know who it is. Start him. Get him in there. And we got the last game, bringing up the rear for a good reason. It is the Dolphins, who are 2-6, versus the Rams, who are 4-4. Ugh, man. Now this game is going to be, Waddle, Tyreek, A-Chain, Tua. I guess you got to put them in, especially in this league. Rams, Stafford, Williams, Kupp, Puka, get them in there. Got to get them going. So that's this week's games, guys, and we'll go for some of the questions we had. Now, I tried to look at the questions, and James, don't worry if this is live, and don't worry if I am recording this from the moon. You just enjoy this podcast. Just be a little 8-year-old kid sitting at the movies back in 1940. No TV, just the radio playing, and that's the podcast. And you're listening to it, and you love it. So just enjoy it. Don't worry about if it's live, semi-live, previously recorded, whatever. Just enjoy it. But other than that, we had a pretty good question, and I'm gonna talk about this for a minute because I dug a little deep because, believe it or not, this is the second recording of this podcast because the first one sucked. So I'm going to kind of go in on this one. So right now, we have the slate being in the playoffs. If you look at it right now, I believe it's Joe, Tony, James, and then you got Evan, Chris, and G Money. That's right now. All right, we still got some weeks playing, and I've kind of went over rosters, went over the games, did a little, little making the sausage, and this is what I think's fixing to happen. I think Joe is going to be relatively consistent. Tony look, guys, don't tell anybody this, but Tony has a pretty good team with his Ravens stack. So just letting you know that. So anyway, Joe and Tony, they're probably going to be pretty decent. I got, I believe, 3 out of 2 for both of them going forward. James, man, I wouldn't have thought this personally. James looks good down the stretch, guys. Watch out for that. I got him winning 4 of the next, after this week, 4 going on. I know it's going to sound like a homer, but I got me winning 4 games the rest of the year. Jaquita, I got her winning 2. I think she's going to drop. Evan, I think he's going to stay pretty consistent. Got him going to win 3 out of the, I think it's 3 out of 2. I may be off on my numbers, guys, but semi. Now here's the hard part. Chris, I'm sorry. I don't know if you listen, but I'm sorry. I got you getting hammered the rest of the way. I'm sorry. I got you dropping out of the playoffs. I got G Money being pretty consistent. I got him winning the next 3, and I got Foley winning 3. Now saying that, I got it like this. I got going into the playoffs, the final week, when we start the playoffs. Excuse me, I know I'm rambling. I got Joe. I got Tony. I got Evan. I got James. Now that's I feel pretty good about that. I feel like that's going to be a lock. The next 2 is going to be iffy. I think I'm going to be in there, and then I think it's going to be a tiebreaker between G Money and Foley, and I got Foley eking in somehow because I'm sure he's going to tell everybody how great he is, and that's just going to throw off their game, and somehow he'll pull it out. So that's going to be the playoffs I'm predicting in the winners bracket. Joe, Tony, James, Evan, Foley, and myself. To win, that's right, I'm even going to call who's going to win. I'm going to say it's going to be Evan and Tony in the Super Bowl. That's right, guys. You heard it here. Evan and Tony. Don't tell nobody. Don't tell Tony. It'll get to his head. That's who I got, guys. So I hope y'all enjoyed this podcast. Oh, I almost forgot. We got starts and sits. Let me hit you Foley's. So sorry about that, guys. Foley, he messaged me, and we have his starts will be Russell Wilson. I told you, Russell Wilson's going to cook. We got Chuba. We got Shakir. We got TJ Hawkinson. His sits, Cooper Rush, Austin Eckler, DeAndre Hopkins, Sam Laporta. We're going to move over to mines. My starts are Stafford, Chase Brown, Garrett Wilson, Zach Ertz. My sits, Jaden Daniels. I would say whoever the running back for the San Francisco is, but you know what? I'm going to say double. I'm going to say Mason and CMC on the sit. Amon St. Brown, sit. Kelsey, a sit. And that's all we got this week, guys. And I will just say this one thing. you, I'm look. Some of you guys, I'm not gonna name names because I don't want to, I don't want to give out secrets. But some of you need to check your rosters for the future because the future is not looking bright for some of y'all. I'm just saying, might want to make some trades, stir it up a little bit. Maybe the outcome will change. I'm sitting here looking at like 3 or 4 teams. If you don't make a change, you're not making the playoffs. Signing off, and I will see you guys later.